Like I said, I just want to remind everybody, we're going to have a public hearing on the resolution 423. If everybody's in agreement, if it's added to the agenda, I really don't see why it shouldn't be. But ordinance wise, 1823, we gave that a third reading last time. It should have been a second reading, so we'll do another third reading of that tonight. 2423, an ordinance to amend chapter 925 of tree rules and regulations. I know we were emailed that. It can go to the first reading. Does anybody have anything that they want to add to that? As I read through it, maybe I missed it. Is there anything that says who's responsible for trimming the trees?
Downtown.
Downtown.
My question. If they're not permitted to cut them down, who's responsible for trimming them back? They're obviously not their trees.
I mean, essentially,
Tree commission, that's the answer.
They're not so big that the tree commission can't take a chainsaw out there and trim what needs to be trimmed. They don't need to hire somebody to trim those downtown trees.
okay.
So is that in there?
I haven't seen this, what you've done to the ordinance, and would have liked to have received a copy.
There's no reason we need to vote on it tonight.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no, yeah, I'm not, yeah,
It's no big area.
yeah, we'll send you one, Deb.
Did anyone from the tree commission get a copy?
No,
Well, they probably should get a copy.
I had a question on 925, page 12, that was crossed out. That deals with pruning for street and sidewalk clearance and whether a tree, and these are trees on private property, interferes with a street light or interferes with visibility of traffic control device or sight at an intersection. We're crossing that out. Do we still have the right to do that?
yeah, it's still in the,
Just rewritten in
it's
red.
still in the, it's in a paragraph in there that we still have the right to,
Oh, I
our,
guess I
the
didn't see
city,
that.
our agents, it's still in there that we have the right to
Okay,
trim
I guess I
whatever
hadn't seen
needs
that.
to, yeah.
And I saw for pruning for street and sidewalk clearance, and it may be, maybe the downtown trees fall into this, but 8 feet above the sidewalk and 12 feet above the street surface, except for truck thoroughfares. So we are putting in here that we need to trim them 8 feet above. And there's, I mean, 8 feet's pretty tall. There's a lot that are a lot lower than that right now.
and shouldn't it be 14 over a street?
That's what on truck thoroughfare,
But I think
probably 14 and a
I
half.
thought it was 15 on a state route. I'm not even,
I know that's, I mean, that's why we raised the bridge, which it had to be 14 and a half foot. That's on 15. So it is.
It has on here, shall have a clearance, let's see, 12 feet above the street surface, except truck thoroughfares, which shall have a clearance of 14. But I just wanted to make sure that if we were making a statement and changing it about what we want and expect, that we have the ability to follow through and take care of it.
Dead trees. Who's responsible? How long does it take before they come down?
It's 30 days.
I saw that.
Yeah, right here, public tree care, Tom, 92509, city shall have the right to plant, prune, maintain, and remove trees within the right of way of all streets, alleys, avenues, as may necessary to ensure public safety.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion on the tree ordinance? I have a motion to table.
I didn't think you need tables, just take it off the agenda.
Just take it off.
It's not on, it's not.
That's right, it's not even on there.
So we don't need a motion at all.
Okay.
We can just continue to discuss.
Continue to-
And I do think it needs to state that the tree commission is responsible for pruning the trees on Main Street.
Oh, it does have an ordinance number. It does, I just, it's not on the agenda. We didn't have it.
So we'll have to- Yeah.
What was that you just said, Roger?
Well, we had asked who was responsible for pruning the trees on Main Street, and Debbie said the tree commission, so I need to state that in there.
So do you want to have a special section for Maine?
I don't know if we could,
Could you just put maintenance? Or
that's all section it may fall under.
Are you gonna pass this tonight?
No,
No, we took it off.
Well, why don't I
Tree commission never
check
does
with
that.
Tom Heading and make sure.
I don't know if 925.09 public tree care would be the place to put that, Bob.
But the problem is all the sections refer to as the city,
yeah,
and I've tried to make it as the city may, rather than put us in some obligation that we don't want to have.
Well, Deb's just obligated tree commission
None
to
of them
take care of
really
downtown
obligate tree
trees, so.
commission to do anything.
Well, I know in the one situation, the business owners cut the trees down and they got an earful from a member of the tree commission. So if they're not allowed to cut them down, then the tree commission should be responsible for trimming them up. So I don't know where that would fall in there, but
And then it's
Sidewalk
always been a
clearance.
special area. I
Well-
think the trees that are there now are actually paid for and planted by the downtown association years ago.
We can probably put a section in here that says, we have a downtown historic district, so we can say tree commission is in charge of maintaining any tree within the historic district.
Well, what happens if they don't?
All right,
and we'll call Debbie.
yep.
yeah, and we'll call Debbie.
Yep,
So you wanted that,
Because they all need trimmed right now, don't they?
Yeah.
I would suggest we add a different section
Okay,
that says any tree in the. Now, is there any tree in the historic district? That's not on Main Street that would fall on private property, like over on
Chestnut?
Chestnut or Second Street or,
well, you can't put them in responsible for, any trees that are big, they can't cut those themselves and they don't have the money to have it done right now. But we're gonna get hopefully some
But you can't
federal
do
dollars
it, and not
here
do them.
that's gonna help with that stuff.
I'm with you, like, you can say that someone's in charge of it, but when they say we're not doing it, like I'm saying, when we're all dead and gone, and someone reads that and says, like, I'm on the tree commission, I'm not a tree trimmer, how are we then going to say you have to trim the tree?
Well, then we shouldn't limit the ability of the business owner to take care of those trees if they don't
Right.
want them.
Right, and I have agreed with that since day one.
Same way in front of your house, between the sidewalk and the
Burn the tree
No.
lawn.
Those don't belong to you, they belong to the city and you may not prune or take them down.
But if no
That's
one
what I was
takes care of
asking.
it,
That's what I was
Doesn't
asking.
matter.
I was asking if they could prune them.
Now, let me throw something in there. It's tearing up my sidewalk. Who's responsible for my sidewalk now? Tree commission?
that's
Have them
what the
come out and look
property
at
owners
it.
always say. Yeah, I cut it
Right,
down.
that's,
I mean,
yeah,
right.
cut them down because it tore my.
So it doesn't-
Right.
Tear up my
So,
sidewalk.
All those things are, yeah.
Because I
Opportunity
know,
leads
I don't know if it was
to
last year, Debbie, or the year before, we planted some trees down on Seventh Street,
Right,
down by the fairgrounds.
right,
And I had probably 35 people call me that didn't want trees in their tree lawn because they had just replaced the sidewalks, they had just done something. And so that's a problem.
they did not plant trees,
I know they didn't plant them where the people didn't want them, but I'm just,
but the trees that they planted are not trees that are gonna grow so huge that they're going to bother the sidewalk and the
But now,
curb.
did you go door to door and tell these people this?
Well, I didn't, the tree commission did. They may not have told them about the size of the tree, but there are rules about the size of the tree that you plant depending on how wide the tree lawn is. Whether you plant a tree that's only gonna grow to be what we call small, which is 20 to 30 feet, whether you plant a tree that's going to medium or a tree that's going to be large. You can't plant a large tree, which is what we have in most of the tree lawns, unless the tree lawn is at least 10 feet. And if the tree lawn is 10 feet, it's not gonna bother the sidewalk or the curb.
You're right.
Those are the rules of planting trees in the tree lawn.
Chad's question is, were the residents on Seventh Street? Was it
My
explained to
understanding
them?
was the tree commission did not put a tree anywhere because they're dependent on those people to water it. And so my understanding is that they only put them where the people agreed to have them put.
That was my understanding.
Well, my understanding was they went down through there and put stakes wherever they wanted a tree. And then the people called me and said, hey, there's a stake out in front of my house. I said, okay, I was told, put a sign on that stake, say, I do not want a tree in my yard. And they passed you.
Right.
So,
There isn't very many. I mean,
no, they didn't plant very
trees that
many
they
down
could have
through
planted
there.
down
Right.
through there. I know we've had numerous discussions with the type of tree they're putting in, like Second Street was a good example that you're talking about. It had to be a tree that reached straight down
Mhm.
when it gets so hot, when we got a rewrite project, new sidewalk. There's only two certain types of trees they said they would plant.
You don't very often put a tree that's as big as we have now in our tree lawns in a tree lawn, because you don't very often have a tree lawn that's wide enough to.
No, we only got what, 5 feet?
Some of
Probably.
them might have been there before the tree was even there. Back there.
Oh, sure.
So a concern that I would have with the tree lawn and how we have some of this written is in front of my house, for example. If I can't prune those trees, I don't know how anybody could walk in front of my house. I've had to prune those trees. So how do we tell residents who are willing, I've got 2 dead trees? Does the city have the funds and the time and the ability to come and take down those dead trees? Am I willing to do it, to tell a citizen that owns the property, they're willing to do
If
something?
you get permission from the tree commission and.
You just
and they're
call.
likely- Yeah, they're likely to give you they'll come out and look, but they're likely to give you the permission to do that. Because I know you have a dead tree that needs to come down and the one next to it doesn't look very good either.
No, it doesn't.
Does the general public know how to get in touch with the tree
That's,
commission?
yeah, that was my next.
So there is a link now on the city of Coshocton's webpage that says report a tree. So there was an article written and I spoke with a member of the tree commission and told the gentleman to if you have a tree problem, for some reason, you have to call City Hall for City Hall to call the tree commission. And I said, if you want to be on the tree commission, why are people contacting my office for my office to contact someone else? Let's contact them directly. So there was an article out in the Beacon that said, contact my office, which that is completely fine. But there's now a button on our website that you can hit that and it goes to all the members of the tree commission, but I want to make sure it's up and live.
So while he's looking for that, how does somebody get on the tree commission?
It's an appointment and it's, I'm not sure if it's a 2 or 3 year tree commission.
I remember
It's
seeing 3
It's
years.
appointed, right, it's appointed by me, so.
Has anybody approached Tammy Rogers? At Lake Park? She knows probably more about trees than any of us here. To be honest with you, she knows what kind of, like Debbie was talking about the size of trees and things like that, and you said the roots that grow down,
So on the website here,
so,
there's a report a tree issue on there. So if you have a
Good.
tree issue, you hit that button and then it shoots it actually out to all the tree commission people.
Good.
I prefer that instead of call me for me to call this person, for them to call us
okay,
back.
How do the citizens know that that's on there?
So it just got put on there. So I will advertise it wherever you want to advertise it and we'll do that.
I'll say it again, everybody, most everybody gets a water bill,
Right.
put a note in there.
That's a good idea.
By the way, there's nothing in here that talks about regulations concerning what should be planted in the tree line. So it's,
Well, because the citizens aren't supposed to plant in the tree line.
there's not a prohibition on that either.
I didn't bring my ordinance with me, but I believe it says that anything in the tree line is the purview of the.
It talks about cutting down, there's nothing about planting. And I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that might leave a tree in front of their house, that will go out and plant a new one, and it might not be the right kind of tree, so.
And if we have anyone who calls us about a tree, we say, here's the tree commission, here's the contact from tree commission, contact them and they'll tell you what to plant. And there are instances where people do that.
We should bring the trees.
I think the tree commission needs to review this
Right.
ordinance before we ever even consider it again.
I agree.
So
Do you want that name, Tammy Rogers? She's such.
I know
She's a-
where to find her, but I don't know that we have a vacancy. Do we have a vacancy?
No, there's not.
But that's a
There's
good
not.
name.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if Tammy will have the time, but I know she's taking a look at the park and has determined, when people plant memorial trees,
Yeah.
which trees we should be planting over there and which trees we shouldn't be. So she is very knowledgeable.
All right. To be continued at the next one. Okay. Ordinance 2523, that's the one we got. It's for Chief Dreher has asked for an ordinance to purchase property at 401 and 407 South 7th Street. It was up for a first reading. Anybody have any questions on that? You guys get that? What are we doing? Are we trying to buy the whole block there?
Yes. That
Yeah.
was my question.
What's the reason behind purchasing those properties?
I mean, property only comes available certain times and we have a good start on where we're gonna run a training facility. And to me, it's valuable to have adjoining land, so.
What, for fire department, you mean?
Yeah.
And that's coming out of what fund?
That'd be probably capital improvement and fire.
Who owns the property now?
Can I have a comment, whatever.
Go ahead.
So I wasn't here at the last council meeting. So on the following Saturday, I listened to the committee meeting, and that's when I learned about this purchase, which at the time I thought, that's fine. And if the appropriations were there, everything doesn't need to run through me. But through a course of conversation Friday in my office, prior to that Max had stated that this is for, continuing Rusty's training facility. So Friday in the office, though, Rusty was talking about it, or him and Max were talking about it, because one of the homes is occupied and it's a Section 8 house right now. And talking with Max discussed, and I guess there's an email, I haven't seen it yet, with Tim Callums, that the city can remain, they want to keep the gentleman living there for 5 years. But then that turns us into a landlord. And Rusty further stated that this property is not in the scope of his training plan right at this moment. And he stated right in front of Max, he said, they're my bosses, I respect their wishes, but those two properties is not what he needs right at this moment. So with that being said, I will say, I'm opposed to us becoming landlords. I'm opposed to us becoming Section 8 landlords that deals with HUD, and federal dollars. And if this truly isn't needed right at this moment, I will not sign a check for that to come out of 410 Fire Capital Improvement Fund. Because if Rusty doesn't need it truly for that, and if you want it for other purposes, that's fine, but I'm just going by, and I thought Rusty was going to be here this evening, or I'm sure,
He's
Oh,
maybe
actually out on a scene right now.
is there, okay. But he did state that, and Max was right there when he stated that it's not in the scope of his training facility right at the moment. but I don't want to see us getting into becoming a landlord and, you know, you said the guys lived there for 20 years.
The problem is, that was different when we made the deal with the landowner and we told him we would take those 2 properties. Rusty's the one that, it was his idea to get the 2 to begin with. So, and I heard what he said the other day and I thought, well, that wasn't what our conversation was 2 weeks ago when we told the
Right.
gentleman we would buy
Right,
these 2 properties.
we've been back and forth. To me, for
And
that
maybe once you give
price,
your word to somebody, you really shouldn't.
What,
be backing up.
which property is
Well,
the
but you
section
don't get
8?
the word till you
would
get it
be on-
approved
on
by
the
council.
corner.
Is it 401 or 407? You know,
We haven't even talked about it.
One is on the corner.
Yeah, it's on the corner of Poplar and 7th.
But I mean, Rusty stated that he
I heard
learned
what he
about it
said
kind of
Friday.
right at this, you know, kind of at
It's
the
a little
same,
late
at
in the day now,
at the
but-
committee meeting is when he learned about it and I learned about it.
I think
you
this
know.
is something, sorry to interrupt you.
No, no.
I think this is something that you guys need to hash out.
Right.
And we need to table this one. This is on the agenda.
Mhm.
Let's table it. You guys get it figured out.
I do agree with,
I don't want to become, I don't think the
Sherry, in
city should be a
Yeah,
landlord,
don't
I agree
think
with
so either.
Sherry on this.
but the other stuff, I think you guys just need to.
I think you get one opportunity to buy property. You get one opportunity to buy adjoining property. I think the price of the 2 properties is probably a decent deal. I know we just bought property for about triple what we should have next to adjacent property that we could have bought probably 5 years ago that we didn't buy, that we just paid 3 times the amount for, that we could have bought, but we didn't buy. And I think this is a prime example of making a good decision when the decision needs to be made. And I think at some point, we're probably going to need that land, or we could need that land. And if you have an opportunity, strike when the iron's hot, or pay 3 times the price. If you want to pay 3 times the price, let's kick the can down the road and pay 3 times the
Well,
price.
I
I
think
don't
it
think
would be
anyone's saying-
helpful,
Go ahead.
sorry, I think it would be helpful to know the vision too. I mean, when
Right.
it was brought up a couple weeks ago, I was like, how many properties do we need? What are we doing there? What's the purpose? And how is it gonna benefit? So
He also,
that, all that information will make it much easier.
Right.
but then that's also taking properties off the tax the tax
No, and that-
duplicates. That's
and-
pulling
and-
revenue from the schools and, you know,
And-
911 and all those other
And
things
that's
too.
that's why I would like to explore keeping the people there. If the house can be there and we can get return on our investment there, there's no reason. We don't have to be landlords. There's things called property managers. So we
That we're
could
gonna
bid
pay
it out.
for.
We could bid it out and actually benefit, hold the property until the time's right where we actually needed that property.
but if we
They don't-
own,
I'm not buying that.
if we own the property,
We gotta do all the upkeep on it.
well,
Yeah.
we're also not gonna get tax money if we own the property.
Right,
Right.
absolutely. That's where I'm saying it comes off the tax
Yeah, if it's-
duplicate.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
I don't-
just gonna affect the
maybe,
schools,
you know, we could look at
everything
buying
else.
the one, but not buying the one that's in,
Then higher
Section eight.
management is like, I don't.
But I'm still gonna
Right,
stand
that's-
by,
Can
if
you get-
Rusty
it's
doesn't,
not-
then I'm
it's
not
really
using
not,
capital,
it's
fire capital
really-
improvement.
Really. Well, you can say you're not gonna do whatever you're not gonna do, but if it's passed and it's law, then.
Well,
But
I'm
this
gonna,
is what you guys need to,
Right.
let's
Hash out.
not get into
Yeah.
that.
I can't let council illegally use funds for a purpose that it's not there. You know, you can't use fire capital improvement funds for a piece of property that may never potentially be used
5
for a
years down the
fire.
road or 10 years.
5,
down
10,
the road,
yeah,
right.
you can't do it, just like buying vehicles just to pass down, you know, that does happen, it's happening now, which in one regard's okay, but, you know, just to buy a piece of property that we might use in 5 to 10 years out of fire capital improvement, if you want it, we can, you know, we need to look at a different capital improvement
Yeah,
fund,
and
not
I
fire.
don't, you
I
know,
think this-
really wanna be a landlord either.
Right, but
But
here's,
You're
the-
not.
if there's a way, if there's.
this goes back,
this is the only thing I'm saying, because now we're right back. Guys, this could be resolved if you guys would walk over and include her in purchasing project. Any kind of, the money, these things has to go through her, and then it can be hashed out. you know, it can be done. I'm sure if you talk to Rusty and you guys recall your conversations, I'm sure these things can be worked out, you know, before council, so we don't have to table it and we can get things going in the right direction.
I think these discussions probably should be held before we commit to the owner that we're gonna buy something.
And I don't know if you can work something up, like when that house is empty in 5 years, they sell it to us.
Or whenever it becomes empty.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Could be
whenever it
before
comes.
that, who knows?
Might give him. So we're gonna table that one.
I'm preferring not to table it, just take it off the agenda.
Take it off.
Because there's a special vote, you have to untable it.
Yeah, that's what we can do if they want.
Easier, just take it off the agenda.
So do I need a motion?
Who's the property owner? Building budget?
Just skip it.
Did you notice after that first reading?
Until you give it a first reading, you don't have to table it.
Okay, answer him off for training.
Yeah, we should have.
That'd be a lot.
Okay. Okay. I think 26 and 27 ordinances, I think they need passed. So I need a motion. And then the resolution authorizing and directing the city of Coshocton to apply for financial assistance from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources through the Nature Works Program for purchase of obtaining a park grant for additional outdoor pickleball court and additional outdoor pickleball court. It's going to be located at Kids America, correct? That's what it's on the city park.
There's an additional court to the three.
Yeah. And Maxie called me and I think this is, that gives them authority to apply for the grant, right? Do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, just as you recall, the original thing we was going to do, the fence for the six that they're trying to get money
Yeah.
for, was through our contact with the Mega, we can't really get a grant for fencing of something that doesn't exist yet. So we got thinking, well, with Eric, is it Oxley?
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He done a drawing on and done all the costing out for it, and it almost, if we get that money and the pickleball committee is going to put up around $4,000 of seed money, and it almost becomes a wash then. So we can get a portion with paid for, we might have to put a couple thousand of rack money towards this.
Keep building pickleball courts. Rogers will end up playing.
Never.
It's a good deal for us. That way we can go after the Nature Works next year when they get their funding lined up.
Yes. Yeah, we'll add that. I'll need a motion to add it to the agenda and then I'll read the resolution or Amy will. Mark, in your free time, have you revisited the Fifth Street and Locust parking? I still been driving by there. There's spots on the street that are available.
Today,
what you're-
they were parked in the yard.
Were there spots
There
across the street?
wasn't, there wasn't any spots across the street.
There was not. What time was that? You know?
1:30, we probably 1:30,
Okay.
we came through there.
I'll try to get back down through there. When are you gonna make a decision on that?
I'll probably watch it a couple more weeks and see what it looks like.
Any other ordinances for the next meeting?
Resolution, I think you might want to consider. Our street levy, Max and I were talking about the other day, and then I got to looking, I did have a calendar notice, because I was inquiring back in the fall. Our street levy expires tax year 2023, which is collected in 2024. So our first opportunity to go on the ballot for the renewal of this would be this year, November of 2023. And we would actually have, if by chance it would not pass at that moment in November 23, we would still have two other opportunities. We have 3 total to put it on a ballot without there being any disruption in the collection of it. So it's a resolution, it was last passed, in July of 18. It's a 5-year renewal. What it would be, and this time it would be for, tax year 2024, and the calendar year for the first collection would be 2025. So I think you would go ahead and start to get this rolling and take advantage of your first opportunity to get that on the ballot in November here. We passed the resolution, and then I would turn everything, there's guidelines here, Amy, I have on how it gets filed with the county, this certificate and so forth, but I'll let you guys take it, from there. But I did want to bring it up that
So just a renewal, right?
it's, yeah, just
Not
a renewal.
but it's a renewal.
It's a renewal, yeah, 2.4 mils is what it currently is, and it brings in about 420,000. I think if everybody, well, it's probably just right under that, about 400,000. The amount is like 425, but we know in the real world, not everybody pays their taxes, so we usually collect about 400. But, so if you want to have that for the agenda the next time, I think, why not try?
Mary, you want to have anything for next one?
No.
Okay. Max?
Ordinance license, so.
You have anything for the next one?
Yeah, I sent you the email, Tom, with the grant administrators for this wastewater grant. Really want to have something on the agenda for the May 22nd passing as an emergency. The grant application has to go in by the 14th, but they need to get it wrapped up by the end of the month. So I told them I'm waiting on them to give me the information to prepare.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say one thing? It looks like, looking at the thing, there's actually 2 resolutions that go hand in hand with each other.
5 and 6 resolution. Okay, does anybody else have anything? Max?
I got some good news. We did receive the grant agreement today from DOD for the sidewalk project.
Okay.
She's putting together, this will be the girl works for John Cleat. She's putting together the bid package, and we'll have a bid opening date coming up fairly quickly. So I'm sure I'll have to be in the paper for 30 days, right? All that, so we get that sidewalk, but that's one down on Brown's Lane.
Okay. I'll mention again in council, you guys got all of the, from Bob Marks, but the mayor's general fund report, building permit summary. You guys got all those. Mary, you have anything else for us?
We had a meeting a couple weeks ago. Port Authority sponsored a meeting for economic strategic plan through Hammond Consulting, which also did a hotel plan study. I want someone from council included onto that. I don't know how often the meetings are going to be, probably once a month. I think it'd be someone on council. It'd be good for them to attend that. Met with MuniReg last week on vacant properties with Deputy Schrock and Bob Beaumont and Max. There's actually a portal that everyone can use, and we're kind of getting educated. They are getting educated on how to use the portal, identifying properties, and even going into different ordinances and laws and other places with MuniReg on how they operate, or some just rock solid ways to get rid of blighted properties and vacant properties. So guys, pretty sharp. We just need to use our resources, and the more we deal with vacant properties or properties that need assistance, it's 9 times out of 10 a out of town, out of state property owner. So that's kind of what we've been dealing with here lately. We have a meeting, and I know a couple council members are going to be at that for the large downtown property owner this week, Wednesday or Thursday, yeah. Just meeting, maybe possibly just looking to see space, possible development issues with them. Tree ordinance, I'll definitely get that to tree commission and see where.
I just
we can
gave him
go
my
with that.
copy.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that's all I have. If anyone has questions, I'll answer.
Okay, I do have a question.
Okay.
I sent an email. I don't think I included you. I don't think I did. Anyhow, it's, so the building permits, I know people have to come to you.
Right, they come, right.
Right, so do we just get a hold of Deputy Coshocton?
Yeah, if you have a building, if you
If I
have
have a
someone.
question,
Yeah.
Because I emailed Bob back, because I went home and I looked at the reports.
Right.
That you send out who gets them.
Right.
And one company, the signs are all over the city, they're not on there one time.
Right. No,
So-
just reach out to Deputy Schrock and he'll go take, and we addressed that issue.
Okay,
And anything you see, more eyes, the better. So,
yeah, I understand, I don't mind, I don't mind doing it,
anything you see,
yeah,
let us know.
Because the one company probably also needs to register with the city to do payroll taxes.
Yes.
You have to have rent to put a roof on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No inside work. It's mainly outside work.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, we address that situation.
okay,
Yeah, anything that anyone's, not just you guys, anyone from the public sees something that they
Right.
think is.
so if we see something,
Yeah,
I know you're busy, I mean, I just want to know who to get a hold of.
yeah, that'd be the quickest way. But yeah, definitely copy me on what, I mean, if you shoot an email, copy me on it, and we'll address the issue.
Okay. Okay. Max, since you jumped in front of the mayor's report, you have anything else? I know you're dying to be the mayor, so.
That'll be one thing you never said. Continuing to flush hydrants around the city. That's being reported on WTMS every morning. We're trying to catch up to cemeteries in between the rain. It's been tough, but our goal is to, but really haven't looking good by Memorial Day. You guys, iPads are down in my office. I didn't bring them up because they're probably dead, but they'll be charged, but all this stuff's on them. You'll need to log in with your password thing, so there's a paper on each one of them that tells you how to do that.
Hey, Mike, when I texted you back, I texted him on my own personal email,
Okay.
or didn't text, I emailed him and he sent me my information.
Yeah.
I don't think they realize that your email, that's the only way you can access your emails on that iPad.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah, Amy forwarded it on my personal email.
okay,
And I can't get a hold of this thing.
You guys, I'll run, as soon as council's over, I'll get out of my office and I'll slip in there.
okay.
If you can't get a hold of them, I'll give you a cell number you can call.
Talk about the
Yeah, I've
resolution.
left 2 messages
Yeah, I'll get.
in a week or so.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah.
Unless somebody's got a question.
I got a couple. On Seventh Street, near Vine Street, there's a retaining wall that's leaning out about 45 degrees over the sidewalk. Is that property owner's responsibility? And then I was wondering what the heck happened on North White Main Street with that hole?
Right on the street with the whole. I'll have to check it out.
There's 2 cones over it.
Oh, they're raising manholes.
Is that the one they're doing?
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
Dug out because they're gonna raise those.
Okay.
Like
Put the
one
risers
uphill.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna rise.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you get any questions, I guess it's Mike's area, but for you guys that water leak that we have on Hill Street, we fixed one that we thought would stop. It's actually coming down off of West and coming under the road and coming out, so they correct me if I'm wrong, but we fixed the A leak, but it did not stop the water yet, so we're gonna bring in the.
They were in today. I did not hear where if they found anything closer, but the leak seekers, they have a lot of fancy equipment that they can measure the sound waves and pinpoint it. We've tried with our listeners, we can't find it.
we're trying not to dig up all Bill Street.
Just finally.
We can find it someplace without,
Right.
but we did find a leak. It was on West, and when we shut the water off,
That
the
kept
leak
running.
stopped. So we know we're in the vicinity, but I really don't want to tear that whole street up. It was just paved 2 years ago. either.
Right.
Okay, I'll mention again in council, but anybody have any questions for Bob about the law director's report that was emailed out? Nothing? Okay, don't sit down, Dave. You have anything else for us? I know I went through, I have a question.
Sure.
I see the overdue spike, then it come down, but it's at around, now it's around probably 250. Is that close? And then you're, on one of your bullets, you said the red tags trends is starting to flatten out, but if people are overdue, shouldn't that be increasing?
Well, the other bullet there will explain part of the process, you know, as we changed out 100 some meters last month. Is when we final that meter, and when everybody looks at their water bill, you'll see a billing date and a service date. Some of them service dates are 2 months in arrears. Just, that's the way it's always been. So therefore, when we final that account out, we bill those other 2 months to get them current. And they only get charged for the usage. So that increases the final amount. And last month we did like 2/3 of the quarterly. So there was 2 months on top of the other 3 months because of the way the quarters are built. So if you look at that table there, look at it by like the 30-day and the 60-day by account, and you'll see that number starting to drop compared to the average. But that's what's driving up the finals, because as we change out meters, we final that account. So now, if you're on a new meter, we'll say, or what we call the T accounts or the tower accounts, your bill date and your service dates are the same. But for everybody else's meter, next time you get your water bill, look at the bill date and the service date. It could be 2 months in arrears.
Okay, so you mentioned the 112 new water meters. Are those just in Coshocton? Because he says, let's see here. Yeah, I think, yeah, Warsaw water and meter replacement projects. Were any of those?
No, as part of the Warsaw project, all the meters in Warsaw will get replaced to be compatible with our radio read system.
But you haven't started doing that though?
No, that is correct. That's just kind of where
You're
that,
holding off until the funding.
till the funding is, yes.
Okay,
So we are replacing meters that's outside the city, like County Road 10.
Right. And anything that's currently in our current system, which covers County Road 10, 621, Airport Road. Yeah, those meters we're changing out because we currently already bill those. But once the Warsaw Water Project commences, as part of that, those meters will get upgraded so they're compatible with our tower, so we don't have to go out and read them. But that's part of the overall $11 million Warsaw project. Because if that project goes to bid, it'll be bid in 3 parts. Part A is like from Coshocton to basically Riverview. You know, the Riverview High School to Warsaw includes the meters, then the tank out there will be like Project C. So.
anybody else have anything? Any questions?
And talk about the federal dollars. Sure. For trees.
Hold on, you have to wait. We're not done with committee yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I just say, kudos to Dave for, on his report of delinquents. I mean, this is last year and this year is the first that I've, in my time of being here, having so many delinquent bills turned over and put onto the property taxes delinquent, because I think this last go around, there was what, 13,000 or something in assessments. And I know you came in with a whole nother stack more. So, I mean, they're getting put on the property tax
That's good.
bills and we're getting
Yeah, I
on
think,
that way.
and I
whereas
think we're
that
like
is-
about 40,000
Yeah.
assessed with the auditors.
Yeah, total. But I mean, in the first assessment, we
We got like
received
16 down.
yeah, between the two, sewer
Different
and water.
water, yeah.
So I mean, that's great that something's being done to actually get that money collected.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. Anybody else have anything for Dave? Guys got the sheriff's report. I think the longest one was maybe the code enforcement. But it was city limits and the city chart. I sent out an email about riding around, doing a ride along with Deputy Sheriff, and I know, Tom, you went around. I guess that job is overwhelming. I was only with him for 2.5 hours maybe, and he's tagging vehicles and making notes about trash in people's yards and things. I mean, if you guys drive by something, if you don't have his number, he'll gladly give you his number and he'll go take care of it. But I think it's just like the building permits and things like that. You know, it doesn't take much to shoot a text or something to his number. Because the nice thing is, you know, the job's gonna get done. That's all I'm saying. I know that, in that email, I said that he took me to all the wards and Roscoe Village included, and there's a heck of a mess up there, just as there is up down in, by the fairgrounds, all over the city, there are issues. And the guy he could spend 3 months in one area.
I always tell them, don't look across the street because there's a problem.
Well,
It's like, once you start looking.
But I think, and I really feel this, I think once people start getting tagged and fined, neighbors are gonna start cleaning up their properties because the neighbors don't want tagged and fined. So kudos to you as well. I appreciate it. And I'm just telling you guys, if you want to have an interesting ride, just hop in a vehicle with him. He'll show you all kinds of things in probably less than 45 minutes.
I know I received an email from a gentleman saying wants me to email me Lyndon Wilson about a couple properties. And they were taken care of, and he's very thankful that they were taken care of. So thanks, Mark.
Anybody else?
I did forget one thing. Just a reminder of any council members, Melissa with the Auditor of State's office, is everybody good with their fraud risk assessment? Do you still need, I mean, there were a few. Let's just say if you haven't answered the questions on the form sent to you, if you're struggling with it, get with me, stop in. The state auditors are always here. You can even just stop in and have a brief conversation with them. They can help you just discuss what the question is and answer, but you are required to do that. So if there's any council member yet,
Did you send us an email?
yeah,
Yeah.
A
yeah,
while back.
It's been,
If you need help, just answer
I think,
letter C.
yeah.
It's always the right answer.
no, it is actually very important. And it is a requirement of the Auditor of State this year that all council members answer that. You weren't, I think you did, you weren't on the list, but, seriously, if so, we do need to get.
Has she sent any names back that haven't done it?
I mean,
I've tried to send it in twice, so.
I emailed, I honestly don't remember which ones. I emailed and said, hey, guys, please follow up with her. Melissa wasn't here today, so if there is anybody, if you know you haven't, or if not sure, get with me. Or just come up, stop up. They're here almost every day now, so.
If she got it, I think she'll send you an email thanking you for it.
Well, I sent it straight to the auditor's office.
I know I sent mine in. but I
Did you
didn't
send
get
it to
anything back.
Melissa?
Didn't you?
No,
You
it
need-
went straight to
No.
wherever the email came from. I sent
Well,
back
it would
to
have
her.
came back to, it would have been to Melissa Meiser.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, yes, thank you.
Okay, Debbie, you have about 13 minutes.
Okay, 7 o'clock. The Inflation Reduction Act, the that's passed, has $1.5 billion in it for urban tree canopy, especially in disadvantaged areas. And on the map that on their website, on their map of what they consider disadvantaged, of course, we are, at least our part of the city part of the state, and then around that it isn't, and then over on the west of the county it is again. But anyway, so the city would qualify, if you're in a disadvantaged area, you don't have to match the money. If you're not, it's a 1-to-1 match. So we could have applied, but it has to be in by June 1st, which it all happened really fast. It was a minimum of $100,000, and it covers tree removal, tree pruning, tree planting, with the emphasis in the most disadvantaged parts of your community. So, Davy Resource Group up in their headquarters is in Kent, Ohio, contacted me because they're the ones who did our tree inventory back in 2011. And the same lady that we worked with then is still there in business development. And she asked if we would be interested in partnering with them. They are partnering with Cleveland and big cities, but they were also looking for small cities. Obviously, I can't commit us to anything, but I said, yes, we would be interested. So sometime this week, she's supposed to, I have a list, a description of all the things that could be included in this grant. And so Davy Resource Group will be applying for a lot of money for the different communities that they are going to partner with. And we have the opportunity to be one of those. So when she gets this list to me with the prices on it, the draft she sent me was really for Cleveland. And it has $2.5 million just for professional tree crew planting in high priority neighborhoods. There's professional tree crew maintenance, young tree establishment, training volunteers, community tree workshops, equity stormwater and heat mitigation outreach, a consulting arborist, an urban forestry department operations manual, and an urban forest management plan. So when she gets this back to us, we will need to decide whether, yes, this is a 5-year program. So we will need to decide whether, yes, we do want to do this or not. And then, so you might be thinking about this in the meantime, where is this project going to reside? Coshocton and Bloom, well, first of all, I believe, I don't know this, but I believe that Davy will have to write into this someone to manage this program locally. Because we don't have any department or anybody that could do that. So we will have to decide, whether we want this to reside in the city or Coshocton and Bloom could take it on along with the tree commission. So that's just something to think about, but sometime later this week, I should have the numbers that go along with this. And it would include pruning and taking down trees in cemeteries, parks, tree lawns, around City Hall, anything that's city property. They will come in and finish and redo our tree inventory. That's the first part of it, because they need an updated tree inventory to determine what our tree canopy is. And if the disadvantaged parts of the city don't have enough tree canopy, then that will be the highest priority of the project. So it's really could be a exciting, I hope, an exciting opportunity. And
So just to add to that, 11 days ago, my assistant sent the tree commission an email that said what are exact numbers, because Bob Beaumont and SPP will be applying for that money through the city of Coshocton, and we will work with Davy, but I need their tree inventory, how much it costs. Right now I have everything I need, as far as I believe we have everything identified, what trees need to come down through Public Works and the Tree Commission. But I need a number of what the Tree Commission needs or Coshocton and Bloom needs, like a dollar amount, or what trees you want to plant, or what your plan is.
We do this through Davy instead of, the other, ODNR also got money from this program.
Yeah, and Ann Bonner sent me an email that said you
Yeah.
need to apply through the city of
Yeah.
Coshocton. So
And that
that's what
money-
we will do, but I can't have an invisible amount. If I have a tree commission that wants assistance from the city and wants to work with the city, I need them to answer the question of their wants or their needs, so I can write it into the grant, so I can ask the federal government so we can get it.
So you're gonna do all that and have it in by June first?
If someone responds to an email of needs and wants from the tree commission, yes, I will do that. I have
But we don't need to,
SPP.
because all of that's gonna be in the Davy Tree proposal.
Well, and that's, I need that proposal. The money is not coming to Davy.
No,
Davy wants to be involved because Davy, that's their business.
they want our money.
They want the business of having the tree inventory and helping with, I want them with us. The money's not coming to Davy, the money's coming to the city.
No, I believe the money's going to
Okay,
Davy.
then I won't apply for any of it.
So you think Davy will be getting the federal grant
That's a problem.
on our behalf? No, it's just.
We would be a partner, they would get, the money would come to,
So Davy being
And we're gonna get 20.
Davy being a
Right.
for-profit company can receive these federal dollars.
right.
I think what you guys are not understanding is you're talking about Davy wants to apply for this grant for the city.
Yeah,
So that Davy would then get the work to cut all
Yeah,
the trees
sure.
and do all that. What the mayor's talking about is SPP applying for the grant, so that we're not committed to Davy.
SPP, what's SPP?
That's our grant, one of our grant writers.
Oh,
So they're gonna apply for the grant for the city. So all the money would come to the city, and then the city would be able to hire Davy
whoever.
or whatever contractors to do all this work. What the mayor's saying is, for us to do that grant though, we need information from the tree commission about what you need. How much do you need to get another survey done? How much, so that he can get that to SPP to put in the grant for SPP to do. In other words, the mayor doesn't want to partner with Davy.
no,
He wants the city to apply for the grant, but we need the tree commission's help to do that. I'm just reading between the lines, but that sounds like. what it is.
And we are paying
you realize
SPP.
that this was dropped into our lap, whoever thought that anything like this could come to us, so we don't have numbers. I have the numbers on what it would cost to redo the tree inventory and redo the software. Davy sent us that, and I can give that to you.
Okay.
But we don't have numbers for what it would cost. I mean, you'd just be picking a number, what it would cost to take down all the priority one trees and plant new tree. I mean, it just seems, Davy, they're the,
Well, to me, it's kind of your
The
wish, your
experts in
ultimate
this.
wish list of like, if you had all the funding in the world is what I want, how many trees a year for 5 years do you want to plant? What I'm probably going to do is ask for anywhere from 50 to 100,000 a year. I know right now we have priority trees that we can probably spend 50,000 a year. Easily. So I need a ballpark, the Davy number I need, and I'll probably have my assistant get with Davy. Like I said, Am Bonner sent it and said, apply for it. So we're
Mayor,
going to apply.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I forgot an ordinance,
Okay.
and we gotta have that public hearing.
Okay.
We received an email from the zoning commission. Tom, I think you went around and got the signatures. An ordinance, we'll have to add it to change area view heights from a B3 to an R1. Bob's already read it, and approved it. We have the signatures here from the residents, and then we have those. So we'll need to add, that'll be ordinance 2823. Sorry, Debbie, I didn't mean to cut you off. I forgot this.
Will take its course or.
Yeah, they'll need to take its
And
course.
really, if you want to wait till the next meeting, it's not a rush, but
Might as well get it in the flow. It'll take 3 readings, so I think, yeah, that's okay. Like I said, they just printed it, so we'll have it.
I just keep it in the city.
Be good enough. Okay. So we gotta get going at 6:44. We go to chambers for the public hearing for the resolution.
With the recess.
Give me, Terry, give me an answer.
Coshocton City Council meeting. All, roll please.
Barcroft,
Here.
Rose,
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Price,
Here.
Moore,
Here.
Turner.
Here.
I need a motion to excuse Councilwoman Andrews. Second, Moore, call roll please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Price,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Stand for the pledge, remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we again thank you for the opportunity to serve the city. I pray that you bless each one of us on this day today as we strive to do what's best for the city of Coshocton. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Minutes, council, you emailed the minutes from the April 24th meeting. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve the minute.
Johnson,
Second.
call roll please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Public input, do you have anybody here?
For Nature Works Grant, Sherry Kirkpatrick, 1849 Hillcrest Drive. Here to speak on behalf of the Coshocton Pickleball Club. And also I've been serving as the city representative for the city pickleball court expansion project. Just a few things to express the importance of our resolution today. The pickleball club here locally started out with just probably 20-30 members. It's up over 100 members now. Recently, the months are flying by, but in November, we had a tournament that 181 participants from, I believe it was like 9 states participated here with that. And the proceeds of that tournament, 4,000 of those dollars have been earmarked and turned over for the addition of the new 4th pickleball court. You know, we have the 3 that's located on the city recreation park at Otsego Avenue. So the 4th court will be right there, and of the 30,000 some dollars that Max and Mark spoke of, the pickleball club has already donated $4,000 for that. Those are all those dollars, the project, well, that will be for us. We have that money. So just here to ask for your support on behalf of the pickleball club for passing the resolution tonight for the city to apply for the grant dollars. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we have a couple of additions to the agenda. We need to add ordinance 2823, which is an ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Coshocton for Airy View Heights subdivision, phase 1 and phase 2. Enter its first reading. And we also have an addition of resolution 423. A resolution authorizing and directing the city of Coshocton to apply for financial assistance from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources to the Nature Works program for purpose of obtaining a park grant for additional outdoor pickleball court to be located at Fitzmary city property. So I need a motion to add. So moved. Moore. Second. Johnson, call roll please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Rose,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2823 and resolution 423 are added to the agenda. Mary, you have anything to add? I'll just say right now that minute purpose, council emailed the his building permit report, and the building permit summary is on there as on there as well. So you have anything to add?
Just want to congratulate Linda Jameson on 25 years of service to the city. I think she's gonna be in and out all summer, and I think August is her official July, August. So Just want to thank her. She actually helped out a lot in transition of the city health department and really was kind of a one woman show down there and just kicked butt, cleaning things up and files and helping the county and helping Sherry and financials and just, you know, extra special when someone is that close to retirement and actually still cares. So it kind of shows Linda's integrity and who she is. That I was down there and there was a heavy trash can full of stuff and I'm like, get the guys out back and they'll dump that where I got it. So, you know, I just always have a good time with Linda. As well as Skip's Landing, had the ceremony over there for Skip's Landing. I knew Skip well, worked with him a lot of years in the restaurant business. So, you know, they didn't make very many skips. And want to thank the county as well for the new Coshocton sign, sandstone sign coming in 1A right there. I believe the county commissioners say 9,000 cars a day come into that entrance. So with every other entrance, hopefully we can get it looking good and keep it looking good. So just a couple of things. If anyone has any further questions, I'll answer them.
Good. Max, you have anything else?
No, I'd echo their sentiments on Linda and the county. That sign looks awesome over there. We would like to remind people that mowing season's here. And please mow your yards. And they look a lot worse with the dandelions right now, but and for the most part, everything looks fairly decent, but we're keeping Mark busy on going out and writing high grass letters as well as cars. So please get them mowed and please have patience with us in the cemeteries to get them looking pristine because we're fighting the weather like I know the yards as well. So all I have, unless anybody's got a question.
Buddy? Okay, law director, you already emailed the law director. Counselor, you emailed the law director's report for April 2023. Any questions or comments for the law director? Auditor's report, you emailed the April report from the auditor. Sure, you have anything to add? You good?
If there's any questions.
Okay, need a motion to accept the auditor's report? So move. Second. Call the roll, please.
Barcroft.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
You emailed the sheriff's report for the month of April. Code enforcement, city limits, and the city chart. Anybody have any questions, comments? Mark, you have anything to add? Sheriff, I'm sorry, do you have anything to add?
No, sir, unless case there's questions. Oh, and the weekend was uneventful. Very good turnout and all was good.
Deputy Sheriff, you have anything?
No, unless there's any questions.
Okay. Council, you also emailed the utility director's report. Any other questions for him? Dave? Nothing. Dave, anything to add?
Nothing to add, so.
Good. Very must be busy. Income tax report. You emailed the income tax report for April 2023. If I have any questions. Good. Go to legislation. Okay, so first reading, I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 2823.
An ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Coshocton for Airy View Heights subdivision, phase 1 and phase 2.
For the first reading of ordinance 2423, any questions or comments? Ordinance 2423 will take its course. So I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 2623.
Transfer.
For the first reading of ordinance 2623, any questions or comments?
Make a motion to suspend the rules and give it a third reading.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Clerk, please give the third roll of ordinance 2623.
Transfer,
Question is, should ordinance 2623 pass? Clerk, please call the roll.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Ordinance 2623 is passed. I'll ask the clerk to give the first reading of ordinance 2723.
Appropriation,
For the first reading of ordinance 2723, are there any questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and go directly to the third reading.
Call the roll, please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Okay, any questions? Okay, please give the third reading.
Appropriation.
Okay, appropriations. Question is, should ordinance 2723 pass? Call the roll, please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Okay, second reading. I'll ask the clerk to give the second reading of ordinance 2023.
In ordinance to amend chapter 917 street excavations and curb cuts.
For the second reading of ordinance 2023 will take its course. The third reading, I'll ask the clerk to give the third reading of ordinance 1823.
An ordinance establishing the position of part-time income tax administrator and set hourly rate.
For the third reading of ordinance 1823, question is, should ordinance 1823 pass? Clerk, please call the roll.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Resolution 423 is adopted. Business, new business, communications.
I have an announcement.
Yes, sir.
Our town Coshocton and the city of Coshocton is pleased to announce, the Bad Animal, a heart tribute band will kick off the 23 summer concert series. The attendance will be free. With summer on the horizon, our historical district downtown concert series is just around the corner. Last year saw 10,000 people attend our series, across acts in June, July, and August on the Court Square. Residents and visitors of Coshocton came together for an incredible experience. Enjoyed the designated outdoor refreshment area, and local businesses thrived for the series. We are pleased to announce, Bad Animal, the Heart Tribute Band will be on June 24th. That's a Saturday at 6:30, in downtown Coshocton. That will be the first of 4. We will do June, July, August, and September. And I will make more announcements as we get more contracts signed. So,
Okay, I got in a big hurry on the resolution. Give the reading of the resolution 423. Yeah. So we need to call the roll on that. Yes. Correct. Yeah, call the roll, please.
So Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Resolution 423 is adopted. Okay, clerk, what's the date and time of our next meeting?
May 15th,
May 22nd.
May 22nd.
Yeah. 7 o'clock, committee will begin at 5:45. Need a motion for the meeting to be adjourned? So moved.
Yes.
Call the roll, please.
Barcroft,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Price,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, Ed.
I get that.
Got it here.
I'm excited.